Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Monday, April 28th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. So, channel bottom 111.64 all week long. For the day itself, it's 111.13. We closed just below that area last Friday, and so it remains an important ceiling of resistance. Now, we've taken it out, as you can see, the last few weeks. We even closed just above it 2 weeks ago, but inside the 1% zone. As you are well aware, if you've been watching the daily NVIDIA report for the last week or so, I am now combining 111.64 as kind of a narrowing range. Now, once again, it's 111.13 on the daily chart, and I'll show it here as a beginning of a narrowing zone up to 114.65. 114.65 is a 3-month descending channel top, respectable in its own right in its ability to contain weekly, possibly monthly highs. So this is our still significant zone of resistance. We're right back in here, and it is able to contain not only weekly, but even buying pressures through May. And from here, we can fall back. I'll go back to this chart into the lower 180s. Over the next 3 to 5 weeks is certainly possible given still heightened volatility. That is the big picture play. Now, if we did close today above 114.65, then we skew up into the mid to upper 120s. 125.82 to 127.72. Now, this could be a good 3 to 5 day, 1 to 2 week with lower volatility swing trade. I am not comfortable playing the long side in NVIDIA as we move through the rest of the year unless we close above that descending 2/3 speed line that we find on the weekly chart at 125.79 and find on the daily chart at 125.82. There's also a 5/8 Fibonacci, which is a respectable Fibonacci, obviously, from that early January high against the more recent April low. So it's really kind of a mid to upper 120s. Up here, it becomes a 3 to 5 day target. We may actually see it by Friday if we close today above 114.65. So this is a zone not only for 3 to 5 week swing traders, but 3 to 5 day swing traders as well. You may hold out for 114.65 rather than 111.13. It's just an idea given the fact that we have violated the 111.13 formation, at least on the daily chart, in a pretty meaningful way a couple of weeks ago. But we can fall away from here. And in fact, if I were to look at the downside levels, today I've got 104.77, just an intraday support level. I'm calling it intraday only because of the high volatility we have. If we open clearly below 111.13, we just might see 104.77 today. And I'm going to say if we close below 104.77, 99.44 is likely tomorrow. Sorry about that. 99.44, the high of that low from last week, able to contain daily selling pressures. I do not see 99.44 as like a 3 to 5 day swing trade back to the upside, just a level that can contain daily selling pressures on the way down. 94.31, you can just see that we've got them just sort of scattered about, all kind of giving room really for this lower 80s objective. It is 90.69, that August low, that if settled below, and we did test it a few weeks ago, we broke below it on an intraday basis, did not close below it. If we close below 90.69 in the coming week or two, then this low 80s objective likely in as little as a week of activity. Once again, the 80.75 2-year channel bottom to 81.97, 50% long-term retracement, able to contain selling through the rest of the year. And yes, the 2-year trend remains bullish above 80.75. So this sell-off that we've seen is more of a near to midterm play, a near to midterm dynamic. It's not really longer term. Longer term, we're still bullish above the low 80s. And in fact, we turn bullish again to the upside if we can close over the next couple of weeks above the 125.79 descending 2/3 speed line at the end of a week. And then we're all in on playing the long side into what is now 169.19 and climbing. This is probably a 3 to 5 month play to the upside. But for right now, you're selling, the 110s, 111.13 up to where are you? 114.65. we can fall away from here. But if we close above 114.65, I see no good reason to stay short. Even if you're a 3 to 5 week swing trader, I don't think you would want to ride a short position into the mid to upper 120s if you're short in the 110s. So this is a 3 to 5 day swing trade, as I mentioned before. But if you're selling the 110s on a 3 to 5 week basis, anticipating the lower 80s, and we close above 114.65, my suggestion is to either A, exit that short position and then have at it again in the mid to upper 120s, or consider reversing for 3 to 5 days into the mid to upper 120s, where a short sale can be played again on a longer term basis. And then finally, as I say, it's a settlement above the 125.82 speed line, the speed line here on the weekly chart at the end of a week that tells me the low is in. It's good for the year, and over the following 3 to 5 months or so, we should push into the upper 160s and climbing. Is there anything else to say beyond what I already have? I don't think so. 99.44 stands out as a session containment level, but we're not going to see that today. With present volatility that is heightened, we just might see 104.77. And we kind of grappled with whether to call that a session containment level. I think you can consider this a session containment level. It's just that the overall bearish state of affairs can rear its ugly head once again below 111.13. When I say the overall bearish state of affairs, once again, I need to underscore that is more of a near-term approach, 3 to 5 week bearish state of affairs below 111.64 on the weekly chart, expecting the low 80s. Longer term, NVIDIA still looks good through the rest of the year above 80.75. And if we close once again above 125.79 at the end of the week, which I don't expect to happen, then we shift. Everything shifts into the bullish column as we move through the rest of the year. The nice thing about these structures is they are narrowing gradually, and over the next month and a half, they converge entirely. So it becomes a little easier to play this both upside and downside as we move through time. Once again, 111.13, the beginning of a range up to 114.65, and I'm talking to 3 to 5 week swing traders. 3 to 5 day swing traders could have out at 114.65. I think 114.65 is your pivot through the rest of the week. You can sell it, anticipating bearish rotation. At this point in time, it's 99.44 within possibly 3 to 5 days. And then inversely, if we close above 114.65, you're going long into the mid to upper 120s. I think I've said it all. I want to mention that last week, wickedstocks.com put out 2 stock picks, one on Broadcom, the other on Robinhood. They're both still opportunities there. The previous week, Motorola, Dutch Brothers Coffee, there's still opportunities there as well. You can see them for free by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial, where you'll also see daily Triple Q and daily SPY analysis, weekly Apple stock analysis. You'll see our 2 stock picks coming up this week, so you'll be given a lot for free. You get 5 days up front. If you stick around, your credit card or debit card is charged for a month, and that there's worse things that can happen because you see plenty of good analysis come your way through the month of May. I'm going to leave it at that. Please click like, share, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Tuesday's NVIDIA report.